tv1online.com.
Folks, we're here, of course, at the Congressional Black Caucus in their office pavilion, and joining me right now on Washington Watch, someone who, homeboy of mine, we talk all the time, we text all the time, we've always missing each other, but certainly glad to have him here on the show. It's my man, Kammen. Kammen, how you doing, baby?
How you feeling, Roland?
Y'all good?
To see you. Yeah,
y'all good?
Yeah,
always
excellent.
A pleasure to see you.
Great to see
We're
you.
here to talk about your new book. That is, One Day It'll All Make Sense, Kammen, with Adam Brandy. This is your book.
Yeah.
Let's first of all start this way. The title itself.
Yeah.
Where did the title come from?
Well, the title just came from actually an album I had called One Day It'll All Make Sense. It was my third album that came out in 1997. But I named the book that because I felt that in life, you know, you find out and discover a lot of things in life. You start to know things as you evolve. And that's what this book is about, me evolving. But you don't know everything. It's no day where you'll know everything. So maybe that day when it'll all make sense, maybe the day you leave this earth. But during the process, we should learn as much as we can.
Now, one of the things that a lot of folks do when they write a book, they want to hold back. I was talking to Walter Mosley, and he said the beauty of fiction is you can be more truthful you can in nonfiction. But you let it all hang out in this book, and you just put it all out there.
Yeah, you know, I kind of contribute some of that to being from Chicago for a certain reason. I feel like growing up in Chicago, I had a sense of self where it's like you didn't hide from who you were. And though I really offer a lot of things personally in my music, I don't offer everything. But when I felt like it was time to do a book, I felt like, man, I need to tell the truth. Just tell the truth. It ain't. I don't have to hide from the truth. And it's my past, you know. So, you know, most of it is just about what I went through. And you know, I want to be able to be an honest person and an upfront person, and just, you know, it's there for a purpose. It's there to inspire. So,
what did you learn about yourself going through this process? Because I took a lot of authors, and they talk about reliving certain things, sharing certain things. So what was the one thing for you that really jumped out?
Well, I realized that, you know, I've done some dirt in my life, you know, dirt and not been like just always making the right choices, but I've learned from my choices in many ways, and I think, you know, I realized that, man, I like to love. Like a lot of this book deals with relationships of love.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and let's talk about that, because you lay out sex. You put it out there. And so people were sitting there going, man, I can't believe we actually went there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, one thing I always think about when I write music, and when I get to take on a role, like, we human beings. So each person, as much as we put ourselves out there professionally, everybody is a human being. So we all have been through certain experiences where we've either been hurt, we've been feeling anger, jealousy, pride, all of it. You know, we feel those things, and sexual things. So I just felt like, man, I can say it. I'm a man. I feel secure in myself enough to say it.
What's been the feedback? I mean, so, man, we got lots of people who are here. You've gone many different places as well. And so what about that reaction? What have people said to you, what they've gotten out of the book?
Well, a lot of people really felt like they got a lot of things about, like, life and spirituality and love. A lot of people said they really were surprised at how open I was.
Right.
And then they also really loved the relationship of what my mother brought to the book, as far as how she gave her perspective, and it really showed another side of me. But I think more than anything, people learned about, like, life and love.
So right now, I want to actually bring your mom in.
Oh, okay.
We want to get her perspective.
Yeah,
she on stuff in the book.
Dr. Hines.
So, Doc, step right on in here.
You can sit down.
Step right on in. Kammen was just talking about your contributions to the book. And first of all, welcome to Washington Watch. As you told me, you watch it every week.
Every Sunday. I come straight home from church. And I really ran up on it by accident. I don't think enough of us know you're on, to be honest. And ever since I did that about 6 Sundays ago, my husband said, I know you coming in to watch Roland. Yep. I come straight home. I don't even go to breakfast, so wait. Bring it with me. Seriously, I'm very serious.
Well, cool. Well, let me ask you this here. How did you feel when he said, hey, I want you to contribute to this book? What did you say?
Basically, I usually say yes to most things for him, but it really didn't come about like that. His friend and manager, Derek, said, he called up me and he said, you know, you and Rashid have a special relationship. How would you feel about doing a book with him? And I said, okay. I don't think I really realized.
Not really understanding what that involved.
Okay?
Right.
Yeah. So I didn't understand, and actually, I didn't think any more about it. He interviewed me. I never knew what Rashid said, and he didn't know what I said. He didn't even know I wrote the foreword.
Wait a minute. So book comes. So when it's time to put it together, you don't know.
No.
You don't know.
No.
So when it came out, you saw it together.
No.
No, we got the manuscript. We got the manuscript, and she read it, and I hadn't read it yet. I was working on the Hell on Wheels, and I hadn't read it, and she was like, boy, you said a lot in that book. And, you know, because I co-wrote the book with Adam Brandy, so we sat down and did a lot of my writing and did our things, and we just collaborated. But he did a lot of the talking to her, which gave her which we got her perspective. So I didn't know what she had said.
So you close to your son, but you're reading this and you're going, wow.
I went, wow. Wow. Okay, and maybe one more wow. I said, well, and at first, some of it I was shocked, and then I got over it because I thought about it. I always try to put myself in another person's place. And so what I said was, does my mother know what I did as a teenager? And once I answered that question, I was cool with everything he said.
So all of a sudden now people are saying, we want to hear more what Mama have to say. So you going to put your own book out?
Well, they've asked me. I don't know. I did the book tour with him. I'm not sure. If I had to promote it, I told him I got a better taste of his life, a different appreciation and respect for it. So I'm not sure. I've been speaking for quite a while for David Miller. Omi, Most Deaf Mom, and Dr. Green. We've been on a circuit for about 3 or 4 years because my passion is children. And I honestly believe that if we were better as adults, the children would be better. And if I could do something to help, other mothers or other women and fathers, then maybe I would.
I got to ask you this. I saw a piece the other day. Ice-T was talking about his thoughts on music today, and there's so much emphasis on music, on money, things along those lines. And he said, we need to bring more of the public enemy attitude back to today's music. Your thoughts about what he had to say?
Well, I think that's very significant because I was just getting my hair cut. And the barber.
You get what cut?
My barber. Yeah, the beard. I gotta keep it right. When you don't got none of them chopped, you gotta keep the beard sharp, man. So I was getting the beard trimmed, and I was talking with the guy who was cutting my hair, and he was saying, man, I'm missing hip hop, the spiritual warrior, and I think that's what Public Enemy and KRS-One and NWA and all these guys brought something that was like. It was revolutionary, and it was speaking up. It was a voice for the youth and for people that was really like, it had spiritual tones to it, upliftment, and I do miss that in hip-hop. There's still some out there. I got to salute those that's out there, whether it's Kanye, Nas, myself, and I think it's still great artists out there too, like the Jay-Z's, and I enjoy Lil Wayne. Like, I like clever raps, but that spiritual warrior, we need that too.
Well, I certainly agree with that. And look, as somebody in news, I certainly understand that to be able to use the platform to inform and empower people.
Yes.
Man, it's always a pleasure. You, my man, as always, good seeing you. Doc, certainly a pleasure to meet you as well, and I'm glad you love watching the show.
And I will continue.
The book, again, is One Day It'll All Make Sense by Kammen. Also, with Adam Bradley and Kammen's mama in the book. So, again, good luck with the book. Thank you so very much.